Hello, everyone. We are so
Hello.
happy that you are with us today. We are going to wait a few moments for all of you to join. So in the meanwhile, please let us know whether you can see us or hear us, whether there are no issues. Yeah, it would be great if you could write it to us. There's a little bit of a lag when you write before we get the information that you actually are here with us. So please let us know that that you can hear us and see us. Yeah, and I'm also wondering what's the weather like at your places, because here in Poland it's today it's crazy. It's sunny, then it's snowy, then the snow melts because it's again sunny, and then it's rainy, and right now we have snow again. So crazy is today. I'm not sure
But
it's
in
the
the
same.
mountains, in the Mobilish Tatra mountains, we have the 10 degree and also very good health condition for a ski and snowboarding.
Yes, so guys, if you want, you can go and come and go skiing in Poland. Yeah, it's actually it's spring, but it doesn't feel like spring here at all. Okay, so I am a little bit worried that I see nothing in the chat, but maybe it's the lag. It's a lag at fault. But I think that we can slowly begin. Those of you who will join us a little bit later, you can watch what you've missed later on, because this will be recorded. This session will be recorded and it will be uploaded and sent to you, so you'll be able to watch it later and see the parts that you've missed, those of you who haven't been able to join on time. Okay, so first I would like to give the mic to Kamil, and then we will start with the presentation. So, Kamil.
Hello, everyone. I would like to enjoy all the guests from all around the world and also see to hello, guten Morgen, guten Morgen, guten Tag, or hello for everybody all around the world. From Australia, also I see the people also, and from Japan, and also ni hao from China. My name is Kamil Andrzejewski. I would like to introduce myself. I'm the business development manager with the Executive Explorer from the Xplus Global from Poland. We are 20 years on the market. With our products, we are 3 years. And today's topic and today's subject of the demonstration is how you can save money on the business process in the D365 F&O. Today's topic is a presentation by Sylvia Kempa. Sylvia is the director of the product for Executive Explorer. Schedule for today is a 45 minutes presentation. Also, all details, if you have someone question, please comment on the private chat or on the chat. And then after that 45 minutes or 47 minutes, we just start Q&A question for 15 minutes. Sylvia,
Okay, thank you.
The moment is for you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kamil. So once again, it's a pleasure to have you guys with us today. Some of you may already know me from the previous webinars and know our solution, but today our topic we're going to cover, as Kamil said, is how to actually save money on business processes in Dynamics 365 F&O. And when it comes to the agenda for today, let me quickly introduce it to you. So first of all, we'll be focusing on what you may need to have these projects of optimization go smoothly and achieve the results you want. Also, how to monitor the progress of your projects and verify those results. Also, in the meanwhile, I would like to share with you something special. So I will include it at the end of the session. I would like to share some news with you that we as Xplus developed. So stay tuned. And of course, we'll have, as Kamil said, the Q&A session. Okay, so with no further ado, let's start. So let's start maybe with what actually do you need to successfully optimize processes when it comes to data. As you know, data-driven optimization, data-driven management is all the rage right now. It is something that we see that it makes sense. We make decision based on data, which is objective, which reflects generally the truth. We want to have such data, right, which reflects the reality. And based on that, we make decisions, because when we have data to support these decisions, the risk that we fail is much more smaller than in case when we only base our decisions on some assumptions. So what data you may need when we talk about optimizing processes and tasks in your Dynamics 365. So first of all, you need to know how much those tasks and processes cost you. It is very important information, and you may think, well, it's obvious, but think about it. Do you know organizations, because I do many of them, which do not base those decisions on actual costs of processes, but they make them based on feelings or when somebody comes to you and says, I don't like this task, it is time consuming, I think it's expensive, the keyword I think, and you should optimize it. And you say, okay, let's optimize it, or optimize the processes for people who complain the loudest. And it may those processes which you might pick may not be the ones that are the most expensive. Maybe they are also not the ones that you should take care of in the first place. So having this information about the actual costs will help you make those decisions what to optimize in the first place. Second of all, you also should know how long it takes users to complete their task. Of course, time is money, so it's kind of self-explanatory. So also when you optimize something, you will be able to measure how it affected time, because the time you save on the task is the time you can utilize in another way, right? You may, for example, if we talk about processing sales order, if you save on time needed to process a single order, you will be able to process more orders, right? So also achieve a better gains from your sales. So this is also very important, quite obvious, but it needs to be said because I think we often forget about it. What else? We also need information about redundancies in processes in tasks. It's really important information whether there is some work which is very repetitive and doesn't really bring any value, like creating some reports on or give me a moment, or some sheets, with when you place a lots of rows and with different data, and this data you need to enter manually into one and second row the same data over and over again. I think I've mentioned it in one of my previous webinars, but this is a case which very often happens, and this is a good example that I like to share in this case. Is that we had a case where there was a process which single execution required over 600 steps to be done of this, and within those 300 steps, 40% were redundant, repetitive work, which could be easily optimized by introducing so many macros or predefined fields. And those are the cases which are the low-hanging fruits. So this is something that it's pretty easy to spot once you know what you're looking for, and pretty easy to optimize and achieve results because, as I said, mini macros and predefined fields, it is not a rocket science. It doesn't really require a lot of development, but it brings the value that you would expect. So more money saved on processes. The next thing is the detailed information about how users carry out their task. It is actually very important to know in detail what they do, because some of the steps which may not be included into documentation may be the reason that the process is ineffective or inefficient. Like, for example, if your users are getting lost in the system, they are spending a lot of time clicking on various things because they're looking for forms or for some information they need to complete their task, This is something that you will know if you have detailed information about exactly how they work with the system, and you will not see it in the documentation. What's more, you also need to know about the different ways users carry out similar tasks. And this is actually one of the most important things, because from our experience, it seems that the more people work on a given process or task, the more different ways there are to carry out those tasks. And some of those ways are optimal, some of them are not, some of them generate errors. But in documentation, you only have one perfect way specified, perfect that you think is the perfect one. But reality may be completely different. And majority of users may use the less effective way to perform a task that there is. So having this information is also important. Also finding, those champions, those users who carry out their task the best way, it's also good to have this information. Why? Because those people can propagate the knowledge and train other people, their coworkers, to perform the processes, the tasks, the best way there is. And it is low cost, just training, but it may bring great results. But we need to be aware who is the champion, right? And last but not least, is the information about how the implemented optimization affected those tasks and processes. So it is absolutely crucial that once you've optimized something, you need to make sure that you've done, that you have the results, that the return on investment is there, that how is the process right now being carried out. So whether it is better as you intended, because it may not be right, it may be some reasons why it failed, but you need to measure it. You need to be sure that you have gained success, and at what whether the scope, actually, this is what I wanted to say, whether the scope of what you achieved is what you wanted to achieve. And now the question may be for you guys, okay, nice, yeah, the information, yes, we would need it. It will be perfect to have it, but how to obtain this data? We will not have, a person sitting next to workers and noting down or filming everything they do, right? Well, yes, but there are tools which can help you out, which gather this information and present it to you, so you can make, those analyses and get the information you need to support your decisions. And those tools are connected with process mining and task mining. And what it is, a way of when you collect data, and this collected data is being analyzed, collected data about what users do in the system. This data is being analyzed, and then the results of these analyses are being presented in applications. And as you may know, those of you who know me, there is already a tool that we have got which does that, this Executive Explorer. What it offers, which is unique, is that it analyzes what users do. So it does not base the analysis on system logs, it bases it on actual user activities. And thanks to that, you are able to get such information like, as I mentioned before, users getting lost in the system, right? So our tool is also for obtaining such data, but the process mining and task mining is very it is right now on top, we could say. Yeah, it's all the rage. People are getting interested in it to obtain such data, which seem to be unobtainable, but right now it is. And how our solution works, it captures these users' activities. So what they click on, or what they type into given fields, what they do actually in the system, based on every mouse click. Then this collected data is being analyzed by our machine learning and big data algorithms. It looks for example, for common behavioral patterns and finds tasks and processes. And the results of this analysis are being presented in a web application. And right now, I am going to show you my application. Give me a moment. I hope you can see it. And this is actually what this application looks like. This is a list of all processes that were being found, and we have information, as I told you, within a given process, how many times it was being executed, how many different ways, different variants to carry out the processes there are, how many users use this process, whether there are any repetitive, redundant activities. So this tool also finds it. What is the average number of steps and average time to carry out a process? Also the potential for automation, and a very, very important thing, which is the cost of this process. So you can also get this information here. And, we of course may dig down deeper. So this is the most expensive process here because I have used the filter here, but let me show you the details. So, of course, here I've got some general information about what the process is, what area it covers, who is the owner. I can assign owner if I want. Also some KPIs about the cost, executions, user, and potential. And most important thing, the variants. So we've got here a list of variants regarding how many ways, different ways there are to carry out a process, and information about how many times this variant was being executed, how many users use them, average time, average steps, and cost. And by clicking on one of these variants, I can see what steps it includes. On the left, the graph will show, so I can analyze it step by step here. I'm not going right now to discuss in detail the graph because I have done it on multiple sessions before, but I'm just letting you know that this is the way when you can exactly analyze step by step the differences between variants and see which is the most optimal one and propagate it all over your organization as an example, right? Or you may decide that none of them are optimal and you will be thinking about modifying it. So it will be. And once you've modified it, it will appear here as another variant. And as I've mentioned before, you will be able to check whether this implementation which you've implemented, this optimization which you've implemented, whether it brought the results you want. You will see the cost of this new way, how many users use them, and so on. But you can get even more information, like, for example, if you want to study in detail and compare what users do, you here have a full list of all executions of a task or process with details about the company in which it was being done, who's done it, which variant they've used, when they've done it, how long it lasted, how many steps it involved, and some other information. And if you want to see details of such execution, so exactly what was being done, let's choose the last one. You click on it, and here you see that for this user on this time, the execution of the process looked like this. And each step has information about at what time it took place, how long it lasted. And if I click on one of the steps, on the right, I will see the whole context, general information, and the business context. So business context here, as you can see, shows what fields was populated with which data by the user. So we can see that the currency field was being filled with USD. So, so this is the data that you can get there. Go, from very you dive down. Actually, you can go to a very, very detailed information and see exactly what is being done in your system, and based on that, you can make really informed decisions on your optimization and check what value you have achieved so far. Okay, so I think we can go back to presentation right now. So right now we were talking about data, and now I would like to move to resources and competencies, because this is something that lots of our customers and people we talk with say that yeah, we want to have this data-driven optimizations introduced in our organization. It sounds great. It really seems promising, but we have no idea what to do with this data. We have no resources, no competencies to do it. So first of all, let's talk about what sort of resources and competencies you may need. So in general, right, it is business analysts who are able to analyze how the processes look like and see the room for optimization. They're able to see the differences, to see also where is the room and how to measure the results, right? Then we have an ERP consultant who may also be an analyst, right? Some people may share some competencies, but this is what is needed is a person who knows dynamics, who knows what can be done there, what are the best practices, and what to do to achieve the best results. Then, of course, we have testers, developers. If we talk about optimization, which require development and customization of systems, so of course they are needed. And I think the most important person here is the business owner. And let me tell you why. There are many projects in which I participated in the past that have looked like this. There was a business problem that needed to be resolved by optimizing a process. So the business went to the IT and said, we want this process to be optimized. And that's it. And we will be back after a month. It will show us what you've done. And of course, the developers, the IT, have no idea actually in detail what this process needs to have, what are the requirements, and if you do not give them those requirements, right? So they prepare a solution, they give it back to the business, and business says, well, this is useless. We have some corner cases we need to manage. This completely should look differently. Our processes cannot work like that. And the developers need to do their work all over again. But if you have involved business owners at all times, if you let them monitor the progress, be the person who answers the questions that actually defines and verifies the modification, the optimization, then you can be sure that at the end of the development, you will have the optimization of the process that will bring that could be used and will bring benefits for the users. And if we talk about skills, one of the most important skills of all those people involved in process optimization is to be aware that a process optimization is an ongoing work. It is never a one-time task. And actually, why so many projects of optimization fail is because people often take this approach of one-time task. So an organization decides right now, we are making a huge project, we optimize our processes, we spend a lot of money. This is our first project, so we don't really know how to do it, what is the best approach, but we do it still. And it often fails. It often does not really bring much value, and the company doesn't really want to do it anymore because they are disappointed. And that's the reason it failed, is that they tried to bite too much at a single time, not having any prior experience. So it's better to look at it as ongoing work, make slow steps, build the competencies as you go, and with this, you can be sure that you will be able to get good results. And why should you actually think about it, right? So about this process optimization, it's kind of obvious, right? But let me say it to you that first of all, good processes, good way of performing tasks brings you better quality of your services or your products. It enhances the customer and employee satisfaction, their loyalty. And I think one of the most important things is that you will have better productivity and higher return on investment, right? So this is really something that is beneficial for any organization. So maybe let's move on a recommended approach to optimization, actually the approach that I would like to recommend to you. So first of all, it is what is crucial to have a data-driven optimization. Have data to support your decision. Collect it, as much data as you can. I would say there's no useless data, actually. Something always may come in handy, and if you have data, you are better able to make the right decisions, what needs to be done, and you actually are more skilled at addressing risks which may appear on the way. Also, as I mentioned before, ongoing work, it brings the best results. You learn as you go. You start small, and you learn from as you work what to do, what not to do, and based on that, you climb up and can achieve better and better results. And also, I would really recommend to starting with resources and competencies that you already have. So yes, think about it like this. You do not need to have the whole team, all the competencies, like, for example, those which I've told you before in this presentation. You may start with what you already have, and then expand your team if you need somebody else. Or you can, use help of some external consultants and companies. We do it ourselves even. If we see that customers would like to start optimization, but they are lacking some analysts, some consultants, or even developers, and they have trouble with recruiting them themselves, and they do not know how to organize the work around it. So we help out here, and either we help out with with actually being a part of the team to achieve the results, or we work as kind of trainers, so that in time their skills are in possession of the organization, and the organization can be self-sufficient in this way. But you do not need to start with a big team of experts. Start small, and with what you already have. I'm sure you have great people, skilled people who can help you achieve the results in the first place. And actually, it will bring the best results if you engage your whole organization, if you introduce a culture of finding potential for optimization. So this way, the focus on the company will be to make work more efficient, more effective, more pleasant to do, actually. And once you engage everyone, share your success stories with them. So once you have completed a project and it's successful, share it with everyone, because nothing is more motivating, nothing is more, nothing is a better proof that your approach is correct than sharing success stories. So this is also something that I recommend. And of course, very important thing, continuously check up on your optimization progress and achieve results. So once you have a project taking place, verify everything that you need. And after it is being completed, also check whether all your requirements has been met. But regarding this last point, how can you actually do it? So first of all, work with data. This is something that after you leave this webinar, this is something I would like you to remember. Always work with data. This is something that really, if you can, it will really make your life easier, your job better, and your company will flourish thanks to that. So as I said before about checking on optimization progress, it is crucial to monitor time and cost used versus the estimated, so that we do not go overboard too much. Also address risks. Some risk beforehand, some may appear during the project. Be aware of them, so that you can make some decisions about either going ahead or changing your route, or even stopping the project itself. But you need to be aware of that during the projects when it's still ongoing. Also, important thing is to engage users who will be affected by the changes. So that once you finish, that they can jump right into it and use the new way, that they are able to know what to expect, and this is not really a surprise for them, and they can be ready for it, and it will in turn, after you've completed the project, it will help you bring the return on investment sooner. And when it comes to verifying the results, of course, always we need to, verify the estimated versus the actual cost, compare them and see where we are, whether we've managed to be still in the budget. Make sure your users have skill and knowledge to adapt to the changes, as that's the story I often tell you about the case I've had that we have implemented an optimization for the accounting. It was had to do with those intercompany transactions, which we automated for them. With me and my team, of course, years ago. And we came to them and asked, well, how do you like this optimization? We came to them after a month or so, and they said, well, we are not using it anymore. Why? Well, because we do not trust it. So actually making sure that the users know this, have skills, have knowledge, and use the optimization is crucial, because you may have spent a lot of money on automating something or optimizing something, and then you would simply have no good results on that because people would simply not use it. So this is also very important. And of course, the last thing I wanted to mention is check regularly how the optimization affected time and the cost needed to complete those tasks. Why? Because, of course, first of all, you want to know how good you've done, right? How much time and money you were able to save. But also those processes, those changes may affect negatively other parts of the process in some way. So being able to spot it, to actually address this as fast as possible is crucial here. And what I would like to also right now to do is to invite you to visit executiveexplorer.com and request a free trial if you are interested, in seeing what data you are able to collect, and what can you find out from this data, what can it help you to do to achieve, whether it may, really help you enhance your return on investment. So the link would be visible in trial shortly in the chat. So you can use this link, which will be there in a moment, to sign up. I see that it is already there, so go ahead. Right now, I would like to show you two short scenarios, how our tool answers them. So the first scenario is that a company has introduced a new way to prepare sales orders. However, the estimated savings has not been reached, and the company decided to check what may be the reason. So let me just show you my Executive Explorer application again. So we are talking about sales orders. So I'm going in and looking at the sales orders process, and I see here the variants. Okay, and right now let's say that the new variant, the new way of preparing those sales orders is this one, which I've clicked on. But I see that only 2 users use it, right? Let's say that in my company, 10 users should work with this variant. But I see that only 2. And here, maybe the answer to my question, what happened? Why it's not this optimization did not work? Because users are not doing it. So, of course, there may be other reasons, like for example, it would take a longer time for some reasons, and we would need to dive down and see exactly why it might happen, right? But this is one of the answers you can get from this tool. And another scenario, let me present you. It is a company has implemented a similar way of creating free text invoices in their subsidiaries. However, it seems that users may have different ways of carrying out the task, and sometimes it impacts negatively the performance. And the company wants to investigate this matter. So let me once again return here. I will go to statistics, to process pivot. What we've got here is this is a report, is a reporting tools actually, which works like pivot tables in Excel. So you drag and drop, and can see some data sorted. So I was talking about free text invoice, right? Free text invoice. Okay, I see that in general 5 users use it, but I do not want actually to know what users use this. I want to know how in the subsidiaries, how much time it takes in a given subsidiary to carry out this process. And what I see here, this is a list of subsidiaries, and here I have month by month information about how much time in hours has been spent on these processes. So I would say I think that in those 2 companies, USMF and USP2, their processes are very similar. So I'm going to narrow it down. USMF and USP2. Okay, now I see there's quite a difference. Here we've got, especially if I look at the total, right? Here was almost 115, and we have almost 30 hours. So the difference quite big one. And so now let's take a look at users. And actually, what we've got here is that in the second company, which spends less time on these processes, there are less people working on it. Yeah, so it may be the reason why this process there's this difference, because less people are involved, and of course less people are able to do less work, right? So maybe here twice as much or 3 times as much invoices are being issued because the number of users working is higher. So this is one of these what we can get from this information. I'm just lost the English word, sorry. So this is what you get from it, and I'm not going to show it you once again, but then you can find this process here on this list of processes and dig into all details and compare these processes between subsidiaries, between companies, and actually see where the problem lies. Because what I've given you is just one of the reasons, right? There may be many, many more. But okay, right. Coming back to this, I would like right now to talk to you, this surprise I've told you that I've got. I wanted to talk to you briefly about what we've prepared, what we've been working on. And it is a new solution that we've prepared. It is called Firefighter. And it addresses the problem of and when you let somebody from outside your organization, some third-party consultant or company or partner, to enter your production environment to fix something, or even developers, right? Somebody who is not your employee, they have to do to work on your production environment, and they may go into places they shouldn't. They may make some unauthorized system changes. They may steal some data. So you would want to be, sure that they don't. See what they actually do, and still have a report. So this is actually the solutions we have prepared. So what it does, it allows you actually to create access to the system that is time restricted and strictly monitored. And this is this Firefighter role. And after the job is done of this person, you get a full report on the activities they've done. So you will see exactly, step by step, what they do, what modifications they've made in what parts of the system they entered. So this is what we would like to offer you also, but this is just a glimpse of what it is. We will be having webinars on it, about it, and some materials, some video materials, some presentations. So stay tuned. But if you can't wait, if you are interested in it, so you can also contact us. I will show you our information at the end of this session, so you can also contact us and we can show it to you. So this is also something that we have prepared. And right now, I would like to move to the Q&A part of the meeting regarding, of course, optimizations. But if you have any other questions, go ahead. So if you have any, please write them down in the
Ladies
chat.
and gentlemen, are we waiting for your comments? Questions, comments?
Yeah, I'm going to show you right now some that we've already collected, answer them, and if you have any in the meantime, so we will also try to answer them.
I see the 52 guests from all over the world. Maybe some people from all part of the world. They have some question. Please enjoy.
Yes, so exactly. So if you have any questions, please ask them. And right now I am showing you one of the questions that we have already from you. It is, who keeps the data? You mean the data about those processes, yeah? Where is this being kept? I think so. The data is actually belongs to the customer. So once we set up the tool, the data collected it flows. It flows to your database, which you prepare for it, and this is the data you manage. It is yours. You do not have to worry who may misuse this data, right? So it is fully protected. It is yours. So no worries here. I hope I managed to answer that question. Okay. The next one. Give me a moment. I'm showing you. Will it work if we have modifications in Dynamics? Yeah. So if you have modified your system, but it still is within the Dynamics 365 modification, then yeah, sure, it will capture all what is being clicked and done by the user. So no worries here, it works. We have multiple customers who work with Dynamics or AX 2012. They have modifications. We would be surprised if they didn't, and it works fine. So we have
we have the question from Australia, from Sydney. The question is, can you show us the save the money about your products, which means the hour, minutes, or money? For example, how many hours we save if we use the Executive Explorer?
Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, so I will answer it, and because I cannot find it
Just
in this.
quick answer,
but okay, quick answer. So it all depends on the process. On some processes, our tool managed to save even I would say 80 hours per year, 80,000 hours per year. Some 50,000, some 4,000. It all depends on cases, yeah. So some cases are, for example, with an ineffective way of processing contracts. So here, when it was being done manually instead of using some OCR, and finding this issue and addressing with introducing OCR help the company save around 20,000 hours per year, if I'm not wrong. Because I'm talking from memory. And also one of the biggest cases we've got here with this 80,000 hours, it was a case which had to do with opening on-premise stores when customers came and paid with credit cards, but there was no, integration between paying terminals and those and Dynamics 365. And people, those workers of those online stores had to enter their confirmation codes manually, and they often did it, just random digits, random numbers to quickly process the order. Then people in the organization, in accounting, had to, correct those codes. So it required a lot of work, and actually the company was aware that it was a problem, but they had no idea how much actually it cost them. And by making this integration, they were able to save 80,000 hours per year. So it's quite a lot of numbers, and that's why I'm unable to tell you exactly how much you can save, because it depends case on case. But the savings are really, really nice from our experience. What you see really sums up to hundreds of thousands per year of hours on the different processes.
But we know exactly from there's a question from the Amsterdam, from company from Amsterdam. How much money did we manage to save for our clients? For example, for per 1 month or per 12 months?
Actually, we generally want to talk about 1 year
Right. This is a
so yes.
question, a direct
So it
question.
all depends. Let's say if we have 200 employees and we have implemented changes around 4 or 5 processes, then we are talking about 300, around, let's say, round it up, 300,000 could be saved on that. Of course, we're talking about USD or Euro, right? So this is something we can also, but it all depends, on your rates, on how many users you've got. So it can be hundreds of thousands, it can be even up to million if you have a large organization. So this is the numbers are quite nice. Okay, going down the list, what else do we see here? Okay, once again, a question about data. Does everybody has access to the data? Actually, well, I'm not sure what do you mean here. When the tables when it's being stored or the applications. So I'm going to answer both questions. If we talk about database, as I said, it belongs to you as a company. So you decide who has access to it. You manage this access. And the same goes for the web application. So we also create roles to have access to these web applications. And only the people who you have assigned have access to this application. So this is when it comes to the access.
And who collects the data? You answer for this. And next question is, who from the side, from the Xpulse Global, make the analytic process after the recording? It means we have the people, and also it's connected with the people from the company.
Yeah. So this is a question. Actually, it depends on case to case. If the analysis, if you want to have a tool on your own and do it on your own, you just do it on your own. But if you have no analytics here to help you out, we do it. We help out. We have a very strong team of analysts, of developers, of consultants, and we are always happy to support you to achieve the best results.
And the last question, past 30 seconds. It's a process optimization for cyber security.
From the terms of cyber security, and so
the question is about the attacks.
Yes. About the attacks. Oh yeah, yes. So actually, this is one thing that the Firefighter I mentioned may cover for you. So you actually will see exactly what a given user or all users, because this tool also shows you what they do, what parts of the system they enter, whether the roles and licenses you have bought them are correctly assigned. So, and this is also a good idea to have savings on those licenses, because you can check what parts of the system the users see, what process they work with. And based on that information, you can decide, okay, so this person doesn't need as an expensive license. And from terms of security, of course, you also see if you have any parts of the system containing sensitive information. You can also monitor who has access to those parts of the system and who makes edits there. So you have a full control of what actually happens there in Dynamics. Okay, give me a moment, because I think I saw one more question, because there are some, they come from different sources, and some I'm able to show you, some I'm unable, but this is the one. Yeah, this. Okay,
so we have many streams. That's why we just check.
We are on YouTube, also on LinkedIn. So.
Oh, it's next question.
Yeah, the next question. If we don't, so will it work if we don't know what the golden process is? Of course it will, because what do you mean? Will what work, right? But if you talk about optimizations and you have no idea what the golden process is, but you actually get information about what the process looks like, what are the different ways of carried out. So based on that, you are able to point out, to analyze and point out, well, this one is the golden process. So at the start, you most likely won't know if you don't already, but once you get the data, you will be able to find it and use it later on, right? So actually, you do not need much preparations to start. You just, install the tool, start recording, and start getting the data. And later on, you might use it for various purposes and, optimize the processes. Okay, guys. From what I see, I do not see Camille. I think we do not have any more questions, right? I do not see them.
Good. I just modernize this topics. I just sent for all guests. Today we did take webinar. We send the website. Please enjoy executiveexplorer.com free trial. If you have some other question for Sylvia and me, we just last screen is about the contact to Sylvia and me. And also, if you want to see some details demo workshop with us via Teams or something, some topic interesting of you, for example, financial, cybersecurity, or just use the Executive Explorer with the cases between our companies and your companies, will be nice to enjoy you guys, to meet you guys, and send email all the time. I'm just open for any question, and also Sylvia is open for any question about the Executive Explorer.
Yes, guys. So if you have any more, as Camille said, any more questions, feel free to contact us. Either reach out by the link, or here are our contact information. We are always happy to talk to you about any issue you would like to discuss. If you'd like to try it out, also contact us. We'd like to thank you very much for being with us today. We are hoping that we'll be able to talk to you in the future. We would like also to invite you to our other webinars. So thank you very much for being with us today. Have a lovely evening or the rest of the day, or whatever part of the world you are. So thank you once again, and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.